welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Lara Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And Sky, my co-host, has a bandage on their head.
I have 3 tiny butterfly bandages on my head, to be exact.
I feel like maybe the head is not something you want to be hitting at this stage in your life.
Correct, especially with how many head injuries I've had in the past. I had put a post on Instagram, like proving a point that this is why you shouldn't do anything Christmas related until after Thanksgiving. And all my coworkers just commented being like, "Where's your hard hat?" It's like, it's at work where I'm required to wear it.
I feel like you should just have a hard hat for life.
That doesn't look cool.
So how did Christmas decorations hit your head?
Not decorations, but we went up to Idaho for the weekend so that kiddos could go to Disney on Ice with my parents.
Oh.
And I voted to not get a ticket for Disney on Ice. Shocking, I'm sure. And instead went over to my grandmother's to help her because every time I've been up there, I've been going over and tackling different things for her. And I went over expecting to keep tackling cleaning the basement or stuff, and instead, because she is a habitual shopper, so already has like Christmas stuff purchased, has had it purchased for a while. I'm sure more will get purchased though. What I ended up doing was helping her wrap the gifts, and then I was going to take all the gifts to my parents' house because that's where they'll end up anyways, to get them out of her house so that we can then start tackling more rooms that are a little cluttered. So I could do all the wrapping, looks beautiful. And then I'm taking the presents out, and we took Jill's Prius up to Idaho because it gets better gas mileage. Mm-hmm. And one of my last trips out, the neighbor had started their lawnmower, and I looked over, and then I noticed that the tree we used to climb growing up in their yard was no longer there, and, you know, was waxing poetic about the circle of life and how things change. And then...
Hold on, pause. Were you actually saying stuff, or were you just thinking in your brain, like, about the tree being gone?
Thinking in my brain.
Okay.
You know, waxing poetic, thinking about life, and then life hit me literally when I walked into the corner of Jill's trunk because it's a small Prius. It doesn't lift as high as like the Acura that I'm used to.
Okay, so you're walking towards the car, you're staring at where the tree used to be, thinking about all your fond memories in this tree, and walked into the car.
The corner of the trunk, yeah.
Okay.
And so had a very large goose egg very quickly and a gash in my forehead as well. You know, you hit yourself on the head, you grab the spot where you hit because it's, oh, ouch, pain. I did that for a moment, pulled my hand away, and there was blood on my hand.
Oh, gosh.
And my grandma worries to an extreme. Like, she called me this morning, and I was just a little tired, so I sounded tired in my voice, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Blah, 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 like 0 to 100. And so I couldn't just, like, go inside.
Well, I mean, given your medical history, I feel like you with a head injury is something to validly be rather concerned about.
Okay, but she does it with everyone. So anyways, I cannot go inside to look at the damages. So I pull out my phone and I'm trying to take a selfie of my forehead to see. Was able to sneak in the house past her because she's helping my grandpa. Get to the bathroom and like clean it up a little bit. And my whole MO for the rest of the day was just for her to not notice. And so we then shortly went to Fred Meyer's afterwards. Managed to make it like the rest of the hour, and then she never noticed.
Did you like put your hair down to like cover it? Like,
no, my hair won't go down right now. And so, but then she's like, "Oh, let's go see this relative so you can see how her house is." And has like, "Oh, I think I need to go to my parents because River Song has been just inside all day because I took River Song up because Mary D definitely would have noticed this bright red line on my head."
So you had a wound and your grandmother just never looked at your forehead.
I guess not.
Okay.
And then she came over later in the evening and she walks in, and obviously you can tell pretty well that I have a head wound, and it was an instant, oh shoot, eye contact with my mom and Jill. And luckily I did have a beanie in the room.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she walked into the house. I wasn't wearing a beanie. Next time she saw me, I was wearing a beanie. And she still does not know about this head injury, nor does she need to.
Does she listen to the podcast? Is she going to know now?
She does not. She is not that technology based.
That you know of.
That I know. I've had to help explain how to open an attachment on an email. Like, I am not concerned.
What number head injury is this for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we might not know exactly. Like, I don't know exactly how many kidney stones I've had, but like, ballpark estimate. Are we talking like 20? Are we talking like 50?
I have had 2 medically confirmed concussions in my life.
Okay.
I have had many, many head bumps outside of that. Though I think the last time I really hit my head was accidentally in a castle in Turkey. So it's been like a year and a half.
That was not that long ago. I can't remember the last time.
That is a long time ago.
That's when I'm like, yeah, my last kidney stone was a year ago. Like that's not long for a normal person. Oh my gosh. I want to do like some testing on you, like some proprioception testing to like, is it just like, did one of the early concussions change the way you sense the space around your head?
I don't know. And it's like, this one obviously was like a squirrel moment distracted. I don't know if it's sometimes I just get like distracted or, I mean, I have terrible eyes, so my depth perception has been screwed since the day I was born. Who knows?
Hopefully it heals up before the next time you see grandma and no scars or remaining marks are left behind.
Agreed. And hopefully I guess I have an excuse if I say anything weird during this or if the edit sounds weird this time around.
It's just because Sky has had trauma. It's fine. Oh, man. Well, I hope your head feels better soon.
Well, thanks.
I'm glad it's not bleeding anymore and you didn't need to get like stitches or anything.
I feel like it's hard to get stitches on your forehead because there's not too far to cut in, really. It's not like deep and it's like, oh, that's deep, it must get stitches because you can't go deep.
I've never had stitches.
Oh.
Well, okay. I guess I have like when I've had some laparoscopic surgeries. And so like they've stitched those shut, but it's never been like I've had an accident and had to get stitches.
It's pretty fun.
I will take your word for it.
Anyways, that was my weekend. How was yours?
I was in Vegas for 24 hours.
Wow, Viva.
I went to Vegas with my sister. We left Friday morning and we went to see New Kids on the Block Friday night for their Vegas residency. And it was so much fun. And I want to know how much their confetti budget is because there was so much confetti being thrown out in the audience. After seeing that, I think they should always have a Vegas residency. And I'm shocked they didn't do it sooner because they did an absolute fabulous job. And it's clear that they're very comfortable there. And then we left Saturday morning and came back home. But I got to go to a lot of the F1 stores that popped up because the race is next weekend. So I spent way too much money on Formula One merchandise because they have a collaboration with Hello Kitty and they have one with Peanuts and Snoopy and they have one with Disney and they have one with Lego.
I've seen the Legos, but I didn't know about the rest.
Yeah. And today they just dropped that they now have a collaboration with Fortnite, which I don't play.
Yeah.
But I did text Emily, who did our season 1 recap with us, because she's my Formula One friend. And I was like, I'm really excited for the day we get the Wicked level of cross promotion, where I can get like my F1 scented Swiffer pads and my F1 Tide flavors. And
you keep dreaming that.
It's coming. It's coming, I tell you. There's Etsy shops out there that will sell you candles that smell like different Formula One drivers.
Is this research based or is this?
I think it's vibes based. But yeah, it was fun. Figured out what picture I'm going to use for my holiday cards from that trip. So I'm ready to order those, which is the earliest I've done that ever. I did order my yearly annual Christmas ornaments for my piano kids in October, which is very early for me because usually it's like 2 weeks before our Christmas party. And I'm like, oh crap, I have to do that.
Yeah, we'll see if I remember to do the cards in a timely manner.
Well, if not, you can blame it on the head injury.
It's true.
Take the picture now with the bandage on your head and just be like, this was the year. This sums it up.
The slogan for the holiday card, I already have it, is surviving 2025 or 2025 still alive based on the events of this past year.
Or 2025 smacked me in the face. You can write 2025 on your bandage.
That's good. Now make it a rhyme.
2025 hit right above the eye. It kind of rhymes. I know we've already talked a lot, but are you ready for the question of the week to talk some more?
Sure.
Our question this week is, when you were little, if you were like me and were paranoid about your parents maybe getting divorced one day, which parent do you think you would live with? Because I didn't think split custody was a thing. And I was like, oh, we're just going to parent trap it. And I'm going to go live with one parent and my sister's going to go live with the other.
I did not think in parent trap terms growing up.
Okay.
So I don't think I ever thought through that or thought through it like you clearly did. And honestly, I think even had I thought about it, I would just want to be a split custody kid.
Well, that's a boring answer.
I know, but you can blame the head trauma.
Do you have like things in common with both parents, like equally so? Or is there just nothing in common with either parent?
I definitely get my klutziness from my mother.
Okay.
My dad and I are very same, like quiet demeanor folk.
Is the klutziness something you bond over with your mom?
I like to say thanks. Though the last 2 times I've had to pull out the bandages, or my mom's had to pull out the bandages up in Idaho, it's because my dad and I have both injured ourselves that day. And it happened yesterday as well, so it could be spreading. It could be like a disease.
Oh no, they should buy stock in Band-Aid.
Which parent did you choose as a child when you were overthinking things?
I didn't really think it'd be a choice. I just thought my parents would decide. And I was like, oh, I'll get my dad. My sister will get my mom. My sister's my mom's favorite. I'm my dad's favorite. My mom and my sister are very alike. So alike, I don't think they realize how alike they are. It's real fun when one of them will complain about something that the other one does. And I'm like, you do this too. Like, this is where she learned it from. But I always figured me and my dad, because we're both the science, math. He's my Formula One buddy, but I would be sad to not get my mom's chocolate chip cookies or spaghetti anymore. But yeah, that's just how I figured they would just split us up, parent trap style, and I would never see my sister or my mom again.
It's dark.
Should we talk about Sabrina now?
Let's do it.
This is season 2, episode 24, titled Sabrina's Choice. Our TV guide description. When Sabrina plays one aunt against the other, they decide to set up separate households and Sabrina has to decide between them. The streaming description is after her aunts decide to go their separate ways, Sabrina has to choose which of the two should raise her. Do you have a preference?
I think I like the streaming.
Pretty even for me. It originally aired May 1st, 1998. We have Kenneth Arcoke returning as our director. He was the director for Sabrina Claus. Sheldon Bull returning as our writer. We have some good guest stars this time. Starting off as RuPaul as the witch judge / hairdresser. If you don't know who RuPaul is, well, go to Vegas because there's a bunch of RuPaul Drag Race advertisements around for a show at the Flamingo. RuPaul's obviously from Drag Race. Also from But I'm a Cheerleader, Brady Bunch, a very Brady sequel, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Kel Mitchell as Kel Kimball in this episode from the Kenan and Kel show. Also, Good Burger. Apparently, Veggie Tales in the house. Sam and Cat, Good Luck Charlie, Sister Sister, and a bunch of Clifford the Big Red Dog stuff. Kenan Thompson as Kenan Rockmore. Again, you should probably know who Kenan is from SNL. He's been on there forever and will be on there probably until he dies. He's also from Kenan and Kel, Good Burger, Snakes on a Plane, the Kenan TV series that was out a couple of years ago. And he also appeared on The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but I don't remember where in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We have Jose Urbina as student from City Guys, Malibu CA, and The Real Howard Spitz. Lastly, Curtis Anderson is returning as Gordy. What were your overall thoughts on this one, Sky?
I'm glad Mom and Dad aren't fighting anymore. I'm glad it wasn't a permanent split like I was afraid, but it makes sense because we're only in season 2. Maybe later on, but that's not season 2 arc stuff. Very quick scenes again. It's the season of montages and very, very quick scenes.
Maybe for our season recap, we'll have to choose our favorite montage.
Oh gosh, do you have a list of all of them?
I think I wrote the word montage in every single show note where one showed up. So just search in the drive for montage. I like it. I think it's a fun episode. There's some fun magic in it. I was thinking as I was watching it, I love RuPaul in it, and I think it plays nicely. Do we think people, if we had a TGIF show like this today that was like on ABC Fridays, do we think that like the crazy people would get upset to see a drag queen in a show like this now? Or do we think that RuPaul gets a pass because it's RuPaul?
They'll still get upset.
I don't remember that being like an outcry. Well, again, then we didn't have social media, so we would have only known if people were upset if it was like on the news or maybe in a magazine. No one really cared. It was just like, oh, it's RuPaul. That's awesome. They got RuPaul and Sabrina. I like it. RuPaul does a good job. I'll talk about the Kenan and Kel scene when we get there. Mr. Kraft, I think, does a good job in this one. Oh, breaking news. Not really breaking news. Very old news. That is new news to me. Valerie and Harvey dated during Sabrina. Nate and Lindsay dated.
What? How did you find this out?
Reddit told me. The Sabrina the Teenage Witch subreddit told me. I didn't pick up any hint of that at all in their acting. Good for them. I am shocked by this news that's coming out 25 years later for me.
Truly breaking.
Truly breaking. Well, if anybody else has their mind blown, you're welcome. Our cold open. Sabrina is trying to pull her very overstuffed backpack out of her locker. Since no one is around, she uses a levitation spell to float it next to her down the hall.
And I already had a problem with this episode first thing. Cold open. We have gone so many episodes in a row with her being so blasé, casting magic in front of mortals, especially Libby, and now she's like, oh, I have to actually be careful and check and make sure no mortals are around. Come on. Anyways, that was my note.
Just then, Mr. Kraft comes around the corner and Sabrina grabs the book bag out of the air. He is convinced he saw it floating in the air, but Sabrina denies it. And Mr. Kraft says, that's the last time I buy minoxidil out of somebody's trunk.
I missed that line.
Minoxidil is, of course, a pill you can take to maybe help slow hair loss. Our outfit intro is a jockey outfit, and she says, giddy up. Oh, I need a horse. She also had a jockey outfit in season 1, episode 12, Trial by Fury. And this is what started us talking about the horse girls that ride the hobby horse girls. There we go. And that was like 4 episodes of that season for us talking about hobby horse girls.
Wow. What a flashback.
Remember those good old days of last year? Harvey won tickets to the Lisa Loeb concert.
Lisa Loeb is an American singer, songwriter, musician, actress, and author. Her single Stay, parentheses, I Missed You, was the first #1 single to be on the Billboard 100 with an artist without a recording contract already. Her official music video of Stay, I Missed You also starts on a cat that looks exactly like Mabel, so you should go and watch it.
Aww. Harvey asks Sabrina to go with him, but she can't. She promised her aunt she'd stay in and do schoolwork. Harvey tries to convince her to go because the tickets are right next to the speakers.
That just sounds like a nightmare. Teenagers, gosh.
But that's where the fights usually break out.
Not worth the hearing loss, y'all.
I definitely saw some fights at concerts in my teen years. That's because I went to like Good Charlotte and people would try to do mosh pits. And then other people wouldn't want to do mosh pits, and then they'd fight about it.
But were you right next to the speakers?
No, we were usually a little bit further back on the floor.
Fights are an equal opportunity when you're on the pit. Doesn't matter where you are.
I was right next to the speakers for the first Blackpink concert we went to. That was so loud, and I don't think I had my earplugs with me then, and I probably have permanent hearing loss from it.
Once again, people, protect your ears.
I forgot my earplugs too for the New Kids concert. It was fairly loud, but not too bad.
Go get some loops.
I have earplugs. I just forget that I have them. They just stay in my drawer.
So useful.
I haven't worn my earplugs for any concert I went to this year, and I went to many concerts this year. Zelda is tidying up the living room while complaining when Sabrina walks in. Zelda is irritated with Hilda and feels like she's living with a small child.
Except this child can reach the high cabinets.
Sabrina suggests Zelda speak with Hilda alone, and luckily, she was invited to a concert. Zelda points out that Sabrina promised to stay home because she had a lot of homework and wouldn't even ask permission to go somewhere. Sabrina admits to all of that, but tries to redirect Zelda back to Hilda. And I was like, why doesn't Zelda just use magic to clean it up? But then I remembered the episode where we have a limited amount of magic we can use in the mortal realm. So I said, okay, never mind. Sabrina is complaining about not going to the concert to Salem. He suggests she try asking Hilda.
Salem says, I'll feel sorry for you tonight when I'm sleeping in my wicker basket by those old paint cans.
Also, that cat sleeps on Sabrina's bed all the time.
Right? Can't do a woe is me. Granted, he does have a litter box in the kitchen, supposedly. And then we do get Cauldron Watch. There are less pens in the cauldron, so maybe she's slowly starting to learn and have proper character growth. That being said, in the reversed house, still less pens and the pair of scissors that you see now, but I think the stapler, it's gray, is back in the Hilda cauldron house, which was interesting. Take that as you will.
That's Hilda's influence for you. Sabrina approaches Hilda in the kitchen where she's looking for her shoes. Hilda knows Zelda put them away because she's a neat freak.
Back during the plague, she used to get upset if people didn't leave their dead in neat, tidy rows.
You know what? Fair. Don't just pile your dead in an unruly pile.
I think you have bigger fish to take care of during a plague.
Bigger fish to take care of.
Yes. Than are the bodies in a tidy line.
That way you can count them easier. Sabrina brings up the concert tickets and Hilda starts to agree, but asks if Sabrina asked Zelda. Sabrina half admits that she did, but then says Zelda was too busy complaining about how messy Hilda is. Hilda gives Sabrina permission to go. Harvey and Sabrina are at the concert and can't hear anything the other is saying.
Great job by the sound designer, because as they're trying to have that conversation, the lyrics in the background are, "You can't hear it, but I do."
I'm surprised they kept the original Lisa Loeb song in the episode, given how much other music has been changed. So why do we get this, but we couldn't get Semi-Charmed Kind of Life?
Lisa's nicer.
Well, I hope Lisa Loeb got a cut of the money from us streaming this episode. Get those residuals, Lisa. Harvey drops Sabrina at her house, and Sabrina zaps herself into her room, where Zelda also appears to yell at her. I was like, that's a smart way to sneak into your house when you're a witch. Nobody can hear the door open. Just zap yourself in. Zelda summons thunder and lightning, and Hilda comes into the room asking how the concert was. And then this was where I was like, wait, you can't use magic to clean up, but you can use magic to summon an anger storm. Okay. Zelda can't believe Hilda told Sabrina she could go. Hilda is upset that Sabrina lied to her. Zelda is upset that Sabrina went behind her back to ask the irresponsible sister. Zelda and Hilda start arguing as Sabrina tries to sneak out of the room, but Zelda senses this and zaps the door shut.
New magic theory.
Yes, I'm ready.
It costs less to cast a spell if you have emotions helping power it. So Zelda's angry, casts a storm spell. Spell is in part fueled by her emotions, so less taken out of the magic escrow fund for the year. Whereas cleaning, inherently the spell for cleaning isn't necessarily emotionally based. Like, yeah, you may be casting it because you're grumpy, but it's not like that raw emotion that could correlate to thunder lightning. Very, very frightening. Yep.
So if I'm panic cleaning because there's people about to come over and my house is a mess, then that costs me less? Because, like, I'm anxious and worried?
I think this makes sense.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you, or am I crazy?
I mean, it makes as much sense as anything else in this damn show. I've come up with bizarre theories that I have no basis for and no way to justify, but I stick by them, so I'll let you do one too. But a storm is just so big, like, you're affecting the atmosphere, like, other people can hear it. Hilda heard it. Did other mortals just hear a random clap of thunder and go like, what the hell was that?
I think it's just house-based. Because yes, we've seen magic affect, like, the outside world, but it very much seemed like the storm was contained in Sabrina's room.
I will let you have your theory.
Thank you.
I will agree with it until next episode when it gets destroyed by some other random something. Gordy announces at the science club that he's going to host a party because his parents are gone for the weekend. When he excuses the club, he hits the counter with a gavel and then tries to clean the mark it made, and it made me laugh. And I was wondering if I wonder if it was actually in the script or if he just did that.
That was a good moment.
Next thing, everyone is yelling about it in the hallway. Sabrina is upset that he's having a party when she's grounded. Harvey asks if she's heard about it, but she can't go. Harvey again tries to convince her to go. Hilda tells Sabrina she can't go. Sabrina still tries to plead her case, but Hilda stands firm. Back at school, Harvey asks if Sabrina went home during lunch to ask Hilda, but she says Hilda still said no. She must live super close to this school because that girl's going home during lunch all the time.
She's popping herself back and forth.
Again, limited use of magic. Does that apply to her or not? Because she's a half mortal, and they're like, you don't have as much magic anyway.
Or is it like adults? You don't pay taxes until you're 18.
Oh, I will accept that theory. That one makes me happy. Okay.
And my other didn't.
That one makes me more happy. Libby joins them and says another girl can't go, so she's transferring to another school. But Libby will be there to keep Harvey company. Harvey tries to reassure Sabrina, who stomps off. I loved Libby's very high ponytail and curled wispy bangs. I definitely had that look at some point in junior high. Zelda is working at the laptop as Salem urges Sabrina to ask her about the party after Hilda said no. Sabrina approaches Zelda as she's busy working. Sabrina starts off by saying something about the president of the science club. Zelda loves the science club. Sabrina presents the party as a special science club meeting, and Zelda tells her to go. Once again, we get a scene of Sabrina and Harvey rocking out at the house party and unable to hear each other. Sabrina sneaks into the dark house, but both aunts are waiting for her in the front room. Sabrina apologizes, but the aunts look very serious. Sabrina asks what they're going to do to her, and Hilda zaps a suitcase. Sabrina thinks they're throwing her out, but actually Hilda is moving out. Sabrina doesn't understand. Hilda admits that the aunts aren't good parents together. They disagree on too much. Hilda has a new townhouse, and Sabrina will come stay with her this weekend. Hilda takes her suitcase and leaves. Zelda is disappointed in Sabrina, who tries to make a joke about blaming it on Hilda. Sabrina arrives at Hilda's new house that looks exactly like a mirror image of Zelda's house.
But she added a doily.
Salem hates it because he hates change. Hilda shows Sabrina to her new room where Quizmaster is waiting and asks to use the shower. How much hair do you think is in his drain of his shower living with a rat?
Oh, I forgot about Creepy Rat. Why'd you have to bring it up?
Because there's no Rudy Kazooie this season, so I have to latch onto something.
You know, there is another frightening child in this episode you did not warn me about. So
Wait, in this episode?
In this episode.
Yeah, okay. I was like, there's no kids. There is. Hilda tells Sabrina to get ready, and she'll take her to school, then needs to get ready for the housewarming party.
So Gordy's party was on Saturday night.
Yes.
Hilda leaves and says, "You'll come stay with me this weekend."
Yes.
But the weekend is now only Monday morning, because it's Monday morning that Sabrina's arriving because she's about to go to school. And even though my brain may be a little funky, I know for a fact that does not make sense.
I also had this issue when I was first doing my notes, and I was like, maybe I misheard this. Maybe she said she's going to come stay with her this week. And I brushed it off. And then I watched it the second time and I was like, nope, this timeline definitely doesn't make sense. I'm going to offer you maybe a solution. You tell me if you accept this or not. If we include Friday as the weekend, maybe Sabrina starts with Hilda on Friday morning. So maybe Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she's still been with Zelda. And now this is her first day at Hilda's and it's Friday morning. Why she would go Friday morning before school, I don't know. But we've already established these two aren't great at traditional parenting type things. And maybe they don't understand how to do split custody very well.
I guess I can accept that because she does say it takes time to reverse flip the set and add a doily. I feel like she used magic to do that, so I have a hard time thinking that it would need to be 5 days.
She definitely does say that she used magic to make it look like the other house. So maybe some remodeling spells take a little time to percolate. I don't know. Hilda starts making a list of all the things she needs and leaves Sabrina to get ready with a crying Salem.
Don't forget the quinine water, Salem calls out as she's making her list, which quinine is a medication used to treat malaria and pyroplasmosis. Quinine has a low therapeutic index, so the difference between an effective dose and a toxic dose is very, very small. That being said, quinine is sometimes used as a flavoring agent in tonic water to provide a bitter taste, because we like to live on the wild side.
Do you think Salem plays bartender at house parties?
That would be amazing. I want that scene. I want Salem in a tiny bartender, 1920s-esque vest, speakeasy bartender.
Would you trust a cocktail made by Salem? Would you drink it?
You know what? YOLO. I would.
Okay.
That's how he takes over the world. That's fine.
Okay.
And then at the very end of the scene, Salem sobs out, "I'm a latchkey kid."
Which doesn't being a latchkey kid mean that you're often left at home alone? Like, that's the whole point. Like, latchkey kids had their own keys to the house because they'd let themselves in because both parents were gone working and they'd just be left to their own devices for hours.
Yeah, Salem's had a little too much quinine.
Okay. Sabrina opens her locker at school to find Quizmaster eating her lunch. She's been summoned to the Witches' Council. Mr. Kraft watches while Libby tries to talk to him, distracted by Sabrina seeming to argue with her locker, then getting sucked into it. He goes to examine it and finds a letter on the ground that crumples up and disappears.
My ex-wife is behind this. I just know it.
And I know that's a throwaway line, but actually remember that line if you can with your head injury.
I got a sticky note in front of me.
Okay. Add it to all the other things I've told you to remember at some point in this season or series.
Harvey's a dick at some point. Three or four. I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing I remember. Ex-wife Kraft.
Just write that, and I want you to see if you can remember what it is in like 2 seasons' time.
Ex-wife Kraft has one.
I'm going to ask you next week what that sticky note is about. I want you to see if you can tell me. Sabrina appears at the Witches' Council with Quizmaster. The judge says she has to decide which house to live in because he says so. She has to choose which aunt to live with right now, but she can't decide now. She claims she doesn't have a favorite and loves them both. He calls for a recess and goes to play squash with Quizmaster.
So as we've noticed in the other realm, especially with the Witches' Council, they really love their hats. You have RuPaul on this show, and you do not give RuPaul a fun hat? Come on.
Do you think we can get RuPaul on this podcast to talk about this episode?
Not at all.
Do you think RuPaul remembers being on Sabrina?
Maybe.
Can we get RuPaul to talk about the hats on Sabrina? Everybody recommend us to all of your friends to listen to so we can get big enough so we can get RuPaul on this episode to talk about witch hats. We have a montage. Sabrina and Zelda are doing science at the laptop. Hilda and Sabrina eating fried food while watching a juggler. Mr. Kraft arriving at Zelda's house to find Zelda and Sabrina with sparklers that look like fencing swords. Did you notice how long they are? Yeah.
I did.
And clearly having survived an explosion. Mr. Kraft arriving at Hilda's house to find a Hilda, Salem, and Sabrina sliding down the stairs. A formal dinner at Zelda's house with Butler. A rope swing at Hilda's house. Sabrina and Zelda reading quietly while someone plays the piano. And Sabrina reading while Hilda jumps on a trampoline.
Also, Salem is present at least for Sabrina and Zelda reading quietly. Why is he traveling between the houses if it's Hilda's punishment to take care of him?
I had the exact same question. It doesn't make sense. There's like a million things in this episode that don't make sense. This is one that makes the least amount of sense out of all of them. Because, like, is Salem somehow now helping in Sabrina's journey to becoming a full-blown witch? Is he now mentoring her somehow? Because I can't imagine a world in which Zelda willingly brings that cat into her neat and tidy house unless she has to.
Or does he have to be with Sabrina because Sabrina will allow him to sleep on the bed? Meanwhile, if Sabrina's not around, he's stuck in his wicker basket by the old paint cans.
Maybe he just hitchhiked in her backpack.
Oh, maybe. It worked for Disney World.
Maybe he just invited himself over. It's happened multiple times this cat has stowed away. They're not very good at checking their belongings before they leave the house. Maybe he's just hitchhiking, and then Zelda's like, well, you're already here. You might as well just stay here. Maybe the Witches' Council was like, we can't have Hilda and Salem alone in a house together because Hilda will just let him try to take over the world again. So there needs to always be a third party.
Supervised custody.
My other question was, why does Zelda have the piano and not Hilda when Hilda is established as the musical one who uses the piano?
You know, sometimes breakups are messy, and so you don't get to keep everything.
Back at the Witches' Council, Sabrina is asked again to decide who to live with, but she can't choose. The judge grants her a what-if spell to look in the future and see what consequences of different choices would be. Sabrina starts off with a what if Kenan and Kel win the lottery? So we get a scene where Kenan and Kel are frantically searching through cabinets and drawers for a lottery ticket. Then Kel stops to make a sandwich. Kenan yells at him to go look some more. Once out of the room, Kenan finds the ticket. He puts it down on the half-made sandwich and goes to get Kel. When he leaves, Kel comes back in the room, puts the sandwich together, and starts eating it. Kenan returns to find Kel has eaten the ticket. And this is where I was like, wasn't Kenan and Kel on Nickelodeon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very surprised we got a Kenan and Kel promo on an ABC TGIF show. Is
That's
Nickelodeon Paramount, technically?
Yes, you can now watch Nickelodeon on Paramount. Because I noticed, Hey Arnold was recommended to me earlier today.
Well, I guess Sabrina's technically a Paramount Studios show that was just broadcast on ABC.
Mm.
So maybe that's how they did it. And they were like, you got your promo last week, Disney, at Disney World. This week, we get to do something. We should also get Kenan Thompson on our podcast to talk about this episode. Add it to the wish list. Add it to the vision board.
Should we make a vision board?
We should absolutely make a vision board with all the guest stars we want to have come on. Sabrina next asks, what if she went to live with Hilda? Sabrina is on a bike in a very messy house. Harvey knocks on the door and comes in wearing a suit. He wondered what happened to her. They were supposed to get married, but Sabrina can't find the marriage license. She searches for it and finds it in the chaos, but with gum on it. Harvey says he gave it to her 3 years ago. Sabrina says she'll go with him now, but Harvey has moved on. He introduces his wife, Libby. Sabrina screams in horror. Harvey then introduces her to their child that has Libby's face and squirts milk on Sabrina.
Ew to that child. Ew, ew, ew. What in the Renesmee is happening? Not okay.
How did you feel about Harvey's mustache?
It was perfectly fine compared to the nightmare in the baby carriage.
Sabrina can't imagine living with Zelda would be worse, but the judge shows her what would happen. Sabrina is doing an experiment at the laptop. Libby comes in and asks for her weekly supply of anti-aging cream, but first has to say, Sabrina's the best, I'm a freak. And I loved Libby's outfit. Sabrina likes the vision so far, but there's more. Mr. Kraft comes in for his weekly jar of anti-aging cream, but he looks much older. He thanks her for letting him be part of her experiment and asks if he's in the placebo group. Sabrina tells him he could be in part C, that is getting aging cream. And then we get another joke about him mishearing her. And I was like, that's a lot of jokes about people mishearing things in this episode. Present day Sabrina says that her life looks better, but she's still alone. But then she hears Harvey on the screen asking for his book. She's definitely voting for Aunt Zelda. Sabrina on the screen hands the book to Harvey's head in a jar. Future Sabrina promises to eventually figure out why he's dissolved.
Harvey says, no rush, but I would like to be let out of the anti-aging experiment. Sabrina asks why. Because I think it's keeping me alive, says Harvey.
Harvey. After seeing both scenarios, the judge asks her for her decision. She still doesn't know. He will give her one more day, but then he'll pick for her.
He's thinking orphanage.
Sabrina talks to Salem. She can't choose just one aunt. She needs to get them back together.
Is there a spell that will force them to share a spleen? Salem asks.
She thinks about putting something they both love and cherish in danger. Like her. And Salem helpfully adds, I am willing to help. I could push you down the stairs. Sabrina comes downstairs calling for Hilda to help. She's almost completely bald, except for a few tufts of hair. Hilda needs to take her to Zelda. Zelda examines Sabrina's head. Sabrina, worried, asks Hilda to stay the night. Zelda says that's fine, and Hilda goes to make Sabrina some soup. Zelda goes to help her, and Sabrina tells Salem that her plan is working perfectly.
They'll be together in no time, she says. I've been sizing up their spleens just in case, Salem lets her know.
We hear the linen closet thunder, and Zelda say that she's happy someone is there to help because they need a specialist. Sabrina is worried that they called a doctor. Sabrina is sitting under a hairdryer as a hairdresser finishes up her hair. She uncovers Sabrina's hair, revealing a huge purple updo. She hates it. RuPaul, the hairdresser, pulls out a huge curling iron to fix it. Sabrina is freaking out as Hilda asks if they need restraints. Sabrina finally admits it was a spell to get the ants back together. Sabrina dances as an attempt to show she's not sick, and everyone laughs. She says, so I'm no Ken Berry. And Ken Berry was an actor, comedian, dancer in the, I'll say 60s through early 90s. I know him from Mama's Family, and he was also on the Carol Burnett show. His Wikipedia page was interesting to me because, you know, it's like born, died, what he did, years active, whatever, spouse. So it has spouse and then it has partner. And I've never seen this before. It says Susie Walsh, in parentheses, 1994 to 2018, semicolon, his death. I've never seen them spell out that somebody was with their spouse until they died or with their partner until they died. Because if I'm reading Susie Walsh, 94 to 2018, I'm not assuming he broke up with her 2 months before he died in 2018.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was until the end. Zelda and Hilda never really split up. They pretended to show Sabrina that they're better parents as a unit. They tried telling her that, but then she went to the science party, so this was the way to get her to learn.
But why did the cat have to suffer, bemoans Salem?
Sabrina still can't believe it was a ruse. She was called in front of the Witches' Council. The hairdresser turns into the judge from earlier. They were happy to help. It was a slow month. Sabrina has learned her lesson and points out that her hair still isn't fixed. But then the judge says something like he's off to help a kid who won't brush his teeth or floss.
This time he's a matador.
RN tag. Mr. Kraft has come to the house to return Sabrina's book. He admits that his mother wants him to see a psychiatrist because he's been seeing a lot of strange things, mostly at their house. Zelda doesn't know what he's talking about. And then Mr. Kraft brings up several things he's seen. Zelda brushes it off as an act of imagination. Hilda says it's because they're so relaxing and comforting to be around. Just then, Sabrina walks in with her still purple hair and a matching hairdo on Salem. Mr. Kraft quickly leaves, and we hear Salem say, "I'm not happy."
Poor Salem, the true victim of this episode.
So they just didn't tell Salem that the whole thing was a ruse because they didn't want him to spill the beans.
Also, Salem was like helping her. Salem was like, yeah, go to the other person.
That could have been a setup, though, to force Sabrina into this situation.
I think they were teaching Salem a lesson along the way as well by not telling him because he was helping her circumvent the rules.
Salem, the however many centuries old cat, still needs to learn this lesson.
We're all growing. We're all learning. We're all getting smacked in the head by life.
Next episode is season 2, episode 25, Rumor Mill. What's it about, Sky?
Gonna be a mill of rumors.
Ooh.
This is gonna be like Gossip Girl. I've never actually seen Gossip Girl.
I've never seen Gossip Girl.
But I know there's gossip. I don't think it's gonna be rumors in the mortal realm, though. I think it's gonna be other realm rumors. Maybe you'll see more kids from boot camp who are like in her class of pearlies. And there's a rumor about Sabrina. I think there's a lot of rumors already about Sabrina in the mortal realm because of Libby, and she just doesn't care. So it can't be the mortal realm. It has to be the other realm because there's stakes still there about her reputation. So yeah, there's gonna be rumors. Other realm. All right. The end.
Okay. I'm very excited about this episode. The episode itself is fun, but a character I really love gets introduced, and I'm very excited about it. Stay tuned for next week because I've been waiting for this one for a while. In the meantime, you can like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com if you have critiques or suggestions for any of the wild theories we've thrown out there to try to make sense of this nonsensical world. You can follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod and TikTok at something.witchy.pod. Maybe we'll post a picture of Sky's bandage. We'll see. Until next time.
Stay magical.